Welcome back. Unemployment, especially among the youth, remains one of the most urgent and pressing problems in Kenya. According to the World Bank, Kenya has the dubious distinction of having the highest unemployment rate in East Africa, with nearly 1 in every 5 young people remaining unemployed. Yet the government, through the Ministry of ICT, says this problem could easily be cured if Kenyans embrace the opportunities that come with the digital space, or what is now commonly known as the digital gig economy. In fact, the ICT Ministry says Kenya has the potential of supplying in excess of 2 million workers to the digital gig economy, which could in turn inject some 60 billion shillings into the economy every month. So how will this work? Studio tonight, we're joined with the ICT Cabinet Secretary, Joe Mucheru. Thank you so much for making time for us. Keep talking to us, hashtag Sunday Live on Twitter, and you can text us on 22422. There are fears already, and I'll read some tweet here by Jeff Keep, who says, I work online and I've been doing well without government intervention. I fear that they may spell for us. And we have somebody here who says, again on Twitter, the Innovation Hub said to be domiciled in NGCDF, I think, offices, or CDF offices in the counties, heralds a new chapter in outsourcing. Keep talking to us. 22422 on Twitter is the hashtag Sunday Live. Thank you again for making time for us. I'll start, first of all, if you can elaborate for us and for our viewers, what is this digital gig economy you keep talking about?
Digital gig economy is where, you know, when people talk about gig, it's they have a small job somewhere while I wait for a main job,
side,
a side job. So here we're saying using technology, you can work both locally or internationally. And I wanted to give a good example. If we go to the website, just Amazon have a site where if you've got any work, you can actually send that work to their platform and people can actually start working. So it's mtech.com. If you check right now today, they have
that website, if you can have a look at that, yes.
As we sit here, they have 626,000 jobs that are available to be done right now, which means any youth in Kenya who has access to a device and knows what to do, they can actually go and immediately start working.
Right.
So some of those jobs are for transcribing. So if you check here, 626,000, those are human intelligence tasks available right now. If you click to view more, you will see that some of those are just transcribing. So you're talking of someone has either an audio or video. And if you check the top one, there's a company called SpeedPad. They have posted some of their audio and video information.
Right.
You transcribe that. It will take you about 10 hours, 37 minutes. And after that, you're going to be paid about 3,000 shillings. Today, the average income for the 18 to 24-year-olds who actually have work is 2,000 shillings a month. So you're saying 3,000 for just doing 1 day's work.
All right.
So what we're trying to do as government is provide people with first awareness that these jobs actually exist. Then
for those who don't know, that is.
Those that don't know. There's actually already quite a number that already know they're doing this. And some are even worried that we're coming in. And I want to clarify what we're doing. But first we create the awareness. We then understand what are the needs. We know, first of all, connectivity is a need. So we have what we call constituency innovation hubs. We're putting free Wi-Fi with MPs and CDF across all the constituencies.
Right. I'll come to that. First, you say Kenya has the potential for providing 2 million workers to this economy.
Right.
This should end the unemployment problem.
But the need for the workers is much, much more. But it's one of the things that would, yes, it will end first unemployment, but you'll find that we can actually scale the work. So first we're saying some of this work is just classifying receipts, others is transcribing. But it goes into actual writing, development work, research work. There are many, many different jobs that are actually available online.
Exactly, and I would want you to elaborate on that. For the youth, because you're doing this, and I'll come to this Ajira website that the government has launched, or launched last week on Thursday, digital program. For the youth watching this, so people, everybody who wants to do this, not about the youth really, doing jobs online.
Majority of Kenya is youth, by the way.
Okay. So but anyone can do it.
Yes.
Anyone can do it, of
anyone
course.
Can do it.
Anyone can go online. Is there, what specific skills or resources do they need?
Because there are many different kinds of jobs. So some of these are, people want even like a personal assistant, book for them a flight, type some documents for them. So it's all kinds of jobs. So whatever your area of expertise, you can actually be able to provide those services internationally.
Right.
And we've actually seen also locally, there are companies that are already starting to provide the platforms and opportunities. So even small businesses in Kenya are going to start posting jobs online for people to work.
Right. So all this has been happening.
Yes.
People have been doing it online. Kenya already, and I saw you on Thursday talking about 40,000
Yeah, 41,000. So it's a company called Elands.
Right.
Elands have online work, and in 2014 they ranked different countries.
Right.
Kenya was actually number 10.
Right. And I actually met somebody here with us, one of our colleagues who's done a job on that specific website. You launched the Algeria Digital program because this is going on. We want to understand why you launched the Algeria Digital program. Very briefly, why? What is the importance
Because
of that?
first of all, not everybody is aware that actually there are these jobs out there. So they're tarmacking, struggling to find jobs, yet the jobs are there. If you knew that this is a place where you can have real work, because one of the other things that's been said is that when you're working online, it's not real work. Actually, it is real work. And quite a few of these people are already paying taxes. They have NSSF, NHIF. So it's actually real work. We want to ensure that now, as everybody gets to know about digital work, online work, banks can start giving you money. Okay. You can get loans. So you can get respect, dignity.
Right. Why should anybody go online and go to Algeria Digital Program, which is the government one, isn't it?
Right.
Why should you go there? There are these websites that have me there and they can get jobs if I want.
So first of all,
what is the advantage I'll get?
Algeria itself is not giving jobs. It's directing you to jobs. It's providing you mentorship. It's providing you skills. We have trained youth workers. These youth workers are going to be in every constituency. They're going to be able to provide the support and mentorship that any youth requires in the centers that we're setting up. That means anyone that wants to understand more about working online and the skills they need, they can go and see these people. We are going to be providing the training. We're going to be providing access and ensuring that there's awareness. So Algeria is not the platform where you work. It's where you get guided. But we want to know, for instance, how many people do we have? We want, for instance, as government ourselves, to start putting work online from the judiciary. Every day or working day, we've got recordings of what's going on in the courts, and we want to transcribe that. Okay. We want to give that to the youth. So we want to have an idea of how many people do we have, what are the kind of skills, and we can also then go to other countries and negotiate with countries where they stop. In some cases, we found Kenyan IPs are being blocked because the quality of work. We want to ensure we increase the quality of workers, quality of work, and bilaterally, because we're working interministerial. We have the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, Public Service, we have education. So it's all of us working together to ensure we have the right skills.
Right. So at the end of the day, Algeria is not going to provide these jobs unless it is government jobs.
So government jobs, but government jobs, it's probably only
it's more of a reference point.
It's a reference point where you think of it as an online school. You come and learn, and then
you can go back and do. You go to the website.
So you go to Amazon, MTech. Right. You will go to Upwork. You will go to Kuhasol. You will go to Cloud South Africa. You will go to Cloud Factory. There's all these places where there is already work. So we're providing the skills and also awareness for businesses that they can actually post work there. You know what happens here?
Both private and public.
Yes.
So at the end of the day, government is going to offload some of its jobs to this website.
And it's going to be cheaper for government and for the businesses.
And also, you'll also allow the private sector to post jobs there. That's what you're saying?
Yes.
So at the end of the day, it will do that.
Correct.
Right. Do you know what kind of government procurement jobs are going to be offloaded?
So to begin with, what we're trying to do is jobs that can be put digital. So as I said, the law courts, for instance, these recordings that go on, so transcribing so that by the end of the day, the magistrates and judges actually have all the digital versions transcribed that they can actually then use. Right. So that gives work to our youth across the whole country. What's really important is if we look at many other different sectors in government, for instance, the post office. The post office has just launched what we're calling M-Post. On your mobile phone, you can be able to use that as your postal address. But instead of now just putting up billboards and so on, they can now just directly work with the people who have come on Algeria to go and actually sign up people across the country. And any other, whether it's registration for an SSF or NHIF or insurance companies or banks that want to interact with people, they now have agents that are digital.
Sadly though, you agree, and we know many parts of this country still don't have access to internets. Not many people have the economic power to buy or even possess these gadgets to access internet. I'll read another tweet here that still reinforces that from Kidinji Kamunya. Says, it's at Itzito Kamunya, says, the only thing that the government can do is offering access to cheap internet and laptops. It is internet, the infrastructure, and providing these gadgets.
Now that's the person who already knows about this, and therefore that's what they feel. There's a huge number of you who don't know about it.
Would that have been easier? That's what the question is. For even those who don't know about this.
So they all want devices. They all want all these services.
Exactly.
But today we don't have the actual numbers of how many people want what. So if you check on the Ajira site, we're actually asking, what device do you have? Do you have a laptop? Where are you? So we are getting information as to where people are so that we can support. We're providing already, as I mentioned, in every constituency, we're providing Wi-Fi. The Wi-Fi will also come with devices. There are 40 devices that youth can come and lease and actually use.
But this is,
Yeah.
well, I mean, it's a
start.
It's a start. I don't want to be cynical. I don't want to be cynical, but it's going to be in one place in a constituency.
Correct.
And the essence of these online jobs, and again, I don't want to be cynical, but the essence of these online jobs is people to work at their convenience. And that is the question is, if it would have been better to improve the infrastructure and access to internet and let the other things flow.
No, I think there's a misunderstanding. We're already putting fiber across the country. We're already working with the mobile operators. 4G and all those services are being done. So this is not the only thing government is doing. When do you
think, at what point do you think Kenyans can enjoy that then?
No, it's already in process. 4G is available already, but it's going across the country. We already have 2G services now covering 98% of the country. What we're doing is we're also in the constituencies putting the fiber and, putting in the free access,
right?
Because it means once they go and they use and they're beginning to earn, they're going to be able to borrow money and be able to also buy devices for themselves. As you know, we don't have as much money to begin with, but if you're able to work with the devices that we've provided, you can then move on and start buying your own device. And we look for ways of subsidizing. We look for ways of expanding this. But today, what is the scale? How many people are looking for this?
So this is something you're looking at doing long term?
This is long term. It's not once off. But I believe even within the next 12 months, we can have more than 1 million workers in this country.
Okay, and again, the same thing a lot of people are saying it. Tinega Haron says on Twitter, fast and reliable internet connectivity is what is needed, as getting this job depends on such. And then I hope he will not mess with the writing industry. Writers are okay without you. That is Varui Muraya. And so many people have been...
But if it's academic writing, there may be an issue.
Why?
You know, academic writing is writing homework for other people out there, which Matiang'i is trying to stop people cheating in all the other schools. So I know it was one of the things that we had, but, you know, in all these areas, you have to do the right jobs. We want to make sure that we're doing things ethically. So if you're going to be doing homework for kids in Europe, it's not necessarily that work. The sites are there that do that. So we'll discourage that, but we're not going to stop it directly. But many of the sites globally are being stopped from offering some of these services.
The site's already there, they're doing it, you'll discourage it. It's not, you're saying you'll discourage it. There's not something you
There's
do.
no switch you go and stop. It's right. The internet.
So you'll just discourage that from happening.
Yes, but as in we're not going to promote it. Let me put it that way.
Okay.
Yeah.
In the digital platform. Okay, so there have been concerns, and for those who have been doing such jobs before, even before you came in, and I mean, it's what you're doing and sensitizing people, some actually worried that the government will now take note of these side jobs they've been doing and tax them.
But is tax a bad thing? So one, let me put it this way. First of all, we're saying online work is work. For many of the people who've been working, they work maybe at night because they're working with the US or sometimes with China, and when they come out and they've bought a car, people think they've been doing this from illicit stuff, you know, where they've been selling drugs or other things. That's not true. So online work is work. When you pay tax, one, you get better infrastructure. That internet they're asking for, those devices they're asking for, that's how we pay for them as a country. Secondly, you get NSSF, you get NHIF. You become someone that is bankable.
So bottom line, people will be taxed.
Yes, already the structure is in place. It's not new.
It's not new, but
many of them are
for many that I've been talking to, and many that have been talking to us, and even on Twitter and Dabutufotu, and talking to prior to you coming here, they're really worried about this taxing issue because they've not been paying. They were not taxed.
Some are not paying. No, tax has always been there.
Well, I've seen many, and they showed me their statements and the amounts that they've been receiving from these clients that they've been having, not only in Kenya but outside Kenya. They are not being taxed, and they're really worried about that. Because they're saying they're earning very little to be taxed.
So already you've seen the changes in the tax brackets. But if, for instance, you're earning 100,000, the tax on this is 5,000.
If you're handling 100,000.
Which is usually the amount. It's 5%.
Right.
So the withholding tax is 5%. So
if you're earning $5,
then it's still 5% of $5. So it's 50 cents. It's not. It's I don't know. It's much more like 2.5 cents or something.
Right. Right.
But that is already below the bracket.
Okay.
So you're not even going to be taxed. But the key thing is, you want to be a Kenyan citizen. You want to contribute to Kenya. You want to make this work, real work. So pay tax. It's not a big issue.
Right. I'll read one more text here. Having worked online for almost 10 years, and I'll say the website is a joke. I thought the government was to talk to the online site so that they may give Kenyans more options, but the site is just a reference. Then I get charged twice, both with, for example, Upwork and the government.
That's not true. So first of all, there's no work on Ajira. Ajira is an information site.
But you'll put work at the end of the day. You say that.
No, I said, for instance, judiciary may build their own platform, because those cases,
even private sector.
So those cases are not going to be, given to public.
Yeah.
But all the other jobs, like what you get from Ajira Digital, is will tell you to go to Kuhasol, will tell you to go to Cloud Factory. That's where the work is.
Right.
What you get from us is, it's almost like you've come to a school. So you're being provided with all the information and tools that you need, but we're not actually giving you the work directly there. We're not competing with private sector. That's a misunderstanding.
But just
and we're not charging. I think he's saying we're charging. There are no charges. You just register.
But you've just said it some moments ago that at the end of the day, the government will post jobs, and the private sector will also allow to be post jobs there.
But not on Ajira Digital. Sorry.
So not
they
on Ajira.
Will have their own platforms. So I'm saying.
So you'll direct them to those, but you'll not.
Not only direct them, but we're not planning to put the jobs on the Ajira
not
platform.
At all. No. Okay. All right. Thank you very much. Cabinet Secretary Joe Musheru, ICT. Keep talking to us. 22422 on Twitter using the hashtag Sunday Live. Guys, still worried about academic writing. Keep tweeting. Manuela says, if you're going to discourage academic writing, then you're making us lose our clients. And again, Paul Karanja saying, most important thing is bringing down the data charges instead of Wi-Fi. I walk miles to access, talking about these hubs that you'll be putting at different constituencies.
But yes, I'll just say, if you're earning money and you can now afford to do more, there's bringing prices down, but there's also making you afford things better. All these jobs give people more money, and therefore they can buy. We want to increase and improve the quality of life, not reduce everything to zero because people don't have. So it's chicken and egg.
And Dennis Chande says, ask the Cabinet Secretary to repeat the address of the site, please.
It's ajiradigital.go.ke.
Right. Thank you so much, ICT Cabinet Secretary Joe Musheru. Keep talking to us. We'll be back after this short break.